Yeah, I've been down that bread and circus. But there was a stage for a while that I guess you could say, took the blue pill, because like I saw glimpses of all this, and at the time I couldn't handle it. Like I wasn't prepared enough mentally. I guess you could say with the armor of God, but I guess the last 20 years since 9/11, because that was like when I saw that happen, it took me a whole year before I could actually talk to people about what I really felt about that incident in public without thinking, just being paranoid as a young 20-year-old. Just thinking, the CIA is listening in on everything and all that sort of stuff. But now they literally are with our phones anyway. So,
look, yeah, I think the whole thing about 9/11, all the other stuff in terms of people being afraid to speak about things, I think the biggest problem is that you need to have conviction and know what you're talking about and being able to back it up with facts. If you can say, well, do you believe 9/11 was an inside job? They'd be like, that's ridiculous. Why would you say that? I would say, and you could say, well, do you think it's more ridiculous that a passenger plane with a soft nose cone can fly through one side of a solid concrete building, come out the other end, and still have a nose cone intact? Considering when a passenger jet hits a flock of birds, the nose cone is completely destroyed, and I can show you evidence of it. Do you think it's ridiculous that the main support columns were cut on a perfectly 45-degree angle? Do you think it's ridiculous that a 98-story building, whatever it was, fell completely straight down and didn't fall to the side and didn't destroy any other buildings in the path, and it didn't look like a controlled demolition? Do you think it's ridiculous that Building 7 was nowhere near any of these other buildings and fell on its own? And when you start throwing all of these things out there, this is what I believe. I believe you can look like a conspiracy theorist, or you can look like someone who knows what they're talking about with subjects that people find sensitive. And people don't want to hear that 9/11 was an inside job. But anyone with half a brain, looking at the evidence and looking what that was, wouldn't think it was anything else but an inside job. So, yeah, it's all about, I believe it's all about being able to back it up with facts and having the mental fortitude to go after those people who want to label you as something and throw all those facts in their face and go, okay, now you tell me if that doesn't sound like there's something going on.
Yeah. Well, like we'll talk about labeling. We were chatting earlier about Max Egan, and I was watching your chat with him. But yeah, and like there's people like that within the truth community, and yourself and other people, and it's just like everyone gets, I guess, called out by trolls or whatever as being shills, and it's like, but people calling other people shills that they weren't at protests, they weren't shot by a rubber bullet,
Who were these people?
Stuff. Yeah, exactly. It's like,
are they? How do I know they're not working for the government? They've got a faceless, nameless, anonymous profile, and they're questioning the integrity of someone who's in front of a camera every day. Everyone knows their name, who they are, where they're from, what suburb they're from, have possibly met them in real life, right? Has been all over the news and everything. Who's questioning whose integrity right now? The guy who nobody knows with a nameless, faceless, anonymous profile, or the guy who's an open book and you know everything about him just by doing an internet search now?
Yeah, and the fact that you guys are like actually risk something to put yourself out there, so it's at least, well, you've got skin in the game. So and being called these things, and it's like it's just, I don't know, like I don't know how you'd be able to.
But what does it mean?
Handle it? Yeah.
What I don't understand what shill means. Like Max Egan, for instance, right? All the guy's done for the last 30 years, 40 years of his life is dedicate his life to exposing what's actually coming, what we're in for, and creating content that's been shared, repropagated, re-edited, remastered, whatever else, and shared across platforms all across the world, over millions and billions of views, probably has woken up millions of people across the world with this content. How is that anything but someone who's just there for the truth community? But you got the guy who sits there, completely anonymous profile, too scared to show their face. And I'm going to trust you and what you've got to say when you don't even have it in you to speak out and show your face. You think you're an influencer. You think that you can do this, no problem. Put your face in front of a camera, get out there, let every police officer in Melbourne know who you are, or across Queensland or whatever else know who you are. Let your government know that you're opposing them, and let weird shit start happening to your life, like weird things like password changes are happening or trying to happen. You're being targeted, and then come talk to me. Don't sit there in the shadows and say that you're fighting the good fight, but nobody knows who you are. And for all we know, you could be a government agent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I've had so many people say to me, this guy, don't trust this. I trust what I see. I trust the work that people are doing. I don't involve myself with what people think of people. I listen to my heart. I listen to my intuition. I go, you know what? Trust what this guy's doing. Unless someone gives me hard evidence and shows me hard evidence, which no one's ever been able to create for anybody, their words mean nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just people have feelings and they just speak their feelings as if that's true. That's if they are even real or not, and they're not what they're claiming the other side is, kind of thing. But yeah, it's like with regards to like people, the Great Awakening and people waking up to what's going on. Yeah, like Max Egan and others. You can even the Alex Joneses and Joe Rogans and all these other people out there that have woken people up, even though a lot of those people don't still listen to them, but like they have a role within this realm, and so it's like, and it's not like they're evil or anything, but and we don't need to sort of fight against them. It's like, let everyone just speak. And this is the issue with censorship and all the cultural Marxism that's crept in, that like people can't talk anymore. And it's like everyone gets triggered by things. And
of course.